Just from your eyes, what kind of happened in that first half to come out that sluggish and dig yourself into a 20-point deficit?
Again, we take stats on our bench about the quality of shot we get, and the first quarter was probably as good a quality shot we've gotten in a long time. We just missed them, and that's part of the game. That could be too jacked up, and that could be a little soft, and that could be a lot of things. But we got some really good looks and didn't make any. There's no excuse for it. You score 2 points, you're going to lose games without question. You're just not going to win games scoring 2 points in a quarter. Regardless of the fight and the bounce back that we had a little bit, 17 points isn't good enough in a half. So clearly what we were doing offensively is just not effective enough, the way they played us, and we got to make adjustments and we got to be better next time.
And just kind of in the second quarter, you defended very well in the first quarter. Second quarter, I think they scored 27 points, which I know is way more than you ever want to allow, probably in a half, much less a quarter. Was it just they were hitting tough shots, or were you guys not defending well enough?
Yeah, I mean, I think they made shots. I think they came in here unafraid and just threw punches, and we got a little bit, shell-shocked and lost our attention to detail on the defensive end, lost some matchups, and again, let offense affect our defense. I thought we bounced back a little bit after halftime, but again, they've got good threats on the court, and we let them right into their wheelhouse, and we couldn't match them on the offensive end.
Is this one of those games where you break down the film from the first half almost separate than you do the second half, because the first half obviously not anywhere near what you want to be, but the second half maybe a little closer of what you guys are capable of? I mean, I know you outscored them by a pretty good margin and got it down to 2 with 30, 35 seconds left before that foul on LA. Is it kind of one of those we have to look at it almost as in two different games in a way?
Well, I don't know that's the case. I mean, I'm sure we'll get some really great clips from this game and some things that we really want to build on. It's that way all the time. But momentum is a big thing, and stopping momentum is a big thing, and not messing up on your assignments is a big thing, and knowing offense is a big thing. And we let the ball stick. We got greedy. We sat around and watched one person try to score for us. Again, when you have 10 assists for us, that's real indicative of lack of ball movement and certainly shot making. We were a little banged up. AT didn't practice much, and then B coming back, and it's just not a good recipe for us when we're a little bit soft on our kids, I think, before going into big ball games. And so we gotta just play with more intensity, and I just really do believe that we lacked intensity and focus. Quite frankly, against one of the biggest rivalries and games that we've played this year, and we didn't show up with the intensity that UW did.
Just what you make of your defense overall today?
Yeah, I mean, they hurt us. I mean, what do you do? I mean, are we really going to get back to we hold people to 60 points and we're not happy? Like this really boils down to being able to make shots. And we're not making enough shots, and we're consistently, or inconsistent on making shots, and we have to figure that out, and we have to find some, I keep saying that we have weapons, but we're not scoring at the clip that when we lose games, we're not scoring across the board like we should. So we've got to get our best players great shots, and they got to knock them down.
I mean, is it just a matter of putting them in, or is there something you can do to turn that around? Or I don't know if it's just kind of goes in or
yeah, I mean, I think there's some individual players. Bella's a good example. Bella is pretty amazing in practice, and she's not predictable in practice, and she gets into games and she's real predictable with her move. So we'll keep working on that. She knows it, and I think the game and the excitement of the game, can get to her. But I think every player is a little bit like that. You think you've got this figured out, or you're expecting to be open on this play, and it doesn't happen. I think there's all kinds of things that are happening in the game. But, again, I think we got some good wide-open threes. We can't continue. We got to get B back in it. I think B can get us some points in the paint. And, again, she's just been a little banged up, so we haven't had many reps with her. So I'm not disappointed in our potential. Obviously, I still feel like, we can get people some good looks at the basket and are getting them good looks at the basket. We've just got to find ways to manufacture more than, still 70 and 75 is the number. It's not 55.
In both of your losses this year, you've spoken to a lack of intensity. What would you attribute that lack of intensity to, and how can basically you turn that around?
Yeah, I mean, competition is hard, and you can think you're ready, and you can be 95% ready, and it's not enough. We're seasoned and we're experienced, and I think sometimes we can just think it's going to be easy and think we're ready and not prepare as well as we should. Again, credit UW for that. They made shots. They put us on our heels. They played us in a way that was going to challenge us to make shots. A lot of people are going to do that. So we're going to see this kind of defense over and over, I think, this year. And we got to find ways to get more baskets than we're getting right now. And I'm confident that we will. But the game and competition is hard, and it is kind of one-on-one, and you got to beat your guy, and you got to have a savage approach. And I think you can lose that real quick, and that's why you need great leadership from your team that doesn't let the team slip at all in that area. And I don't think we're quite there yet right now.
How have you seen the UW program change the last several years, and how have you kind of matched that?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
How have you seen the UW program change the last few years?
I think Tina does a great job. I mean, she's done a great job. They're recruiting great. They have a system that they play. Got hard-nosed kids, really good players, and they're disciplined. I think they played a much more disciplined game than us, and I think that showed. And again, it's early in the season. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, and we'll try to improve ourselves and put on a better performance next time we play.
How much of a difference did Jess make being for her first game back on the court?
Yeah, I mean, need Jess. She's a little bit more of a post presence. She doesn't back down. Again, mobility is she's not ready yet to play big minutes, but I was happy with how she came in and just tried to compete. So again, I think another big body that we can throw at people and play with. So we're gonna keep bringing her along, and clearly she gave us some good scoring punch off the bench.
Hi, Coach. I want to start out by saying I'm just happy to be here. I consider myself a fan more than an analyst or a writer. But I just wanted to ask, how do you approach the halftime speech going into this half when you're down by, I think it was 19? So how do you approach that? What are you telling your players to get them fired up for that second half?
Well, I mean, obviously, our players are really prideful, and I think they were really disappointed in how they played. So regardless of what I said, I think they were more than wanting to come out and to play at a better pace. Clearly, Bella gave us better minutes and some scoring punch. We got our defense picked up, which created some opportunities for us. Credit UW. Their trans D was really good. We didn't get very many easy baskets that way. So this was you just can't take a half off and expect to win very many games. I don't care who you're playing, and not especially a good team like UW. So I didn't have to say much. They want to win, and they knew that there was enough possessions there to come back and win that game. We misplayed a lot of possessions late in the game, and clearly this wasn't enough and a good enough performance for us to pull it out. All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate the crowd. Go Cougs.